Next question paper. So I'm sending you a paper and I would like to open it. Okay. Okay. I have sent it to ma'am. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm sure you can see that on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here we go. Question number 1 is, a good is the most suitable to be provided by the market if it is excludable, or you have to see the answer and tell me which one do you think is the most appropriate answer.
So is it A?
How?
Or because excludable good means like the producers can charge for the good.
Okay, so that
And
is so. Why do you think it's a non-rival good? If it is a rival good, excludable and rival, then it is the most suitable for the market, because it will be affected by the demand and supply forces, because it's having some rivals in the market. If there's a non-rival product or a good, then that will be a thing that we call monopoly. So that is not suitable for the market.
okay, sir.
Okay. So here comes the next one. What is the definition of long run?
So C.
The time period when all key inputs into production are variable. It is only about key inputs. So actually, long run is a period of time where all the production factors are variable, not only just the key inputs into the production, all the factors. So it's B. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Firm can make big changings. Firm can change its size, its machinery, its labor. Everything is a variable in a long run. So that is why we call it a long run. So here's a third one. The table states the consequences of two macroeconomic policies. What correctly identifies whether the statements are normative or positive?
So is it B?
Yes, exactly, it is D, because both of these things, exchange rate and unemployment, these are the positive things that will happen and it will be the consequences of macroeconomic policies. Fine. So here comes the third one. The diagram shows the production possibility curve for wheat and corn. So what can be deduced from the diagram?
Or C?
The opportunity cost of producing corn falls when moving from M to N. The opportunity cost of producing corn is constant when moving from M to N. The resources used in producing corn, no. Yes, it is C, most appropriate. So now we see that question number 5, a supply curve is represented by an equation. So this equation says QS quantity supply is equals to 10 plus 5P. So where P is the price of the product, which price rise would cause the quantity supplied to double? You just have to put these values by doing mental maths. You will be putting 1 and 2, then 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 5, and to see what are the outcomes.
So, but how do we know like which value is in range?
So you see that these are the values that we are told. So QS is equals to 10 plus 5P. So if we put 1 in place of 5, in place of P, what will be the answer? 5 ones are 5, 5 plus it will be
15.
15. And if we
Mhm.
put 4,
So, so
if we
is
put,
the answer C?
yes, it will be C because, sorry,
So because it'll be double, like if you do 4 in the place
yes,
of P,
it
it
will
will be
become 30.
30.
Exactly. So it will be C.
Yeah.
So here comes the next question, that is, I'm sure you can see the whole screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which diagram illustrate unitary elasticity of supply? What is mean by unitary elasticity of supply?
So when it is equal to the change in price, like when the quantity supplies is equal to the.
Exactly. Well done. So now it will become easier for you to check which one is the unitary elasticity of supply, A, B, C, or D. Okay, we talk about A. What is A? In diagram A, you can see that it is zero elasticity.
Yes, sir.
And when we talk about price, it is P. So it is unitary
Inelastic.
elasticity is greater than one. So if we talk about D, it is perfect elastic. And when we talk about C, it is equals to one. So this is C is the answer. So another
Yes.
interesting thing that you would like to know, whenever elasticity of supply is greater than one, the diagram doesn't start from zero. It will start from upside the zero. And if the price elasticity is less than one, it will start from the right side of the zero.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So here comes the next one. In which case is the price system not a possible method of allocating resources?
Sir. D.
Yes, exactly D. So answer is correct. You just have to justify your answer. How did you think that it is D and not ABC?
So because it is a public good which is provided by the government, so it's not
Fine.
easily excluded.
Very good. So now here comes question number 8. A sports stadium has two pieces of seats, prices of seats. The cheaper seats are for $10 and the more expensive seats are for $20. When the prices of seats are increased by 10%, the effect on demand are a fall of 5% for the cheaper seats and a fall of 12% for the more expensive seats. Describe the responsiveness of demand to the change in price. You can calculate on a book if you have.
Yes, sir. Sir, is it B?
No. Elastic here, elastic and inelastic means elastic are where elasticity of demand is greater than 1, and inelasticity means when elasticity of demand is less than 1.
So
See
can you
that?
explain the
Yes,
question?
10% rise in price caused 5% downfall in quantity demanded for cheaper seats and 12% for expensive seats. So we just have to calculate. So the first one is 5 by 10. It means it is less than 1. It will be 1 by 2 or 0.5. And the second is 12 by 10. It will be 1.2, that is greater than 1. So we see that it is more elastic or elastic, and it is inelastic. Why so? Because it is less than 1. So we will go with answer C. Is there any confusion you want to ask?
No.
Okay. So here comes the next one. That is question number 9. So you have to tell which statement correctly describes the shape of the demand curve for a normal good.
Sorry, D.
D. Do you think demand curve with price is positively related?
Yes. So
Think about it. D is not the answer. You have to think about the rest of the three. Choose a one.
but
Why don't you think it is B?
yeah, yes, so it is B.
It is B because when we are told about the law of demand, or we are talking about the demand or normal goods, we will definitely relate price and demand. We don't go with income because income is with the quantity demanded is a different topic, and we can study it more details, but the data provided is not sufficient to analyze whether it is income elasticity or not.
Okay.
So that's why we will go with B. So here comes question number 10. Why does the basic economic problem of scarcity apply to both the rich and the poor? Basic economic problem of scarcity. That is faced by every rich or poor or every person.
Mm. So C.
Human wants succeeds, what can be produced? Yes, exactly. It is C. So butter and milk are goods in joint supply. Supply curve in both markets slopes upward to the right. Health concerns cause people to reduce their consumption of butter. What are the initial consequences of this for supply in the market for butter and buttermilk? There is a difference between move and shift. And when we
Yes,
talk about move, it means we are on the same, um, um, what we call it, we are on a same scale. And when we talk about shift, it means we are making some different curve. So move, we can
so
move on same curve.
is it B?
It is B. Excellent. It was um, the most technical question so far we have studied in this topic, in this past paper. So happy that you done it. You did it well. So here comes the next one. The diagram shows the demand and supply of a good. When the market is in equilibrium, which area measures the difference between that what consumers are willing and able to pay and what producers receive that output? Do you need help?
No, so I'm doing.
Okay.
So B.
You mean this one?
Yes, so
So this one is incorrect. So it's not B.
why?
You see
So because
that?
it says producers output, so it will be producer surplus, right?
Okay. So if we talk about this side, here price is low. Price is low. So we have to find the difference between that consumer are willing and able to pay. So able to pay and willing to pay is always less than one, but up to the price line under the demand curve, but up to the price line. So that is the consumers willing and able to pay.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So here comes the next one. Why do some local governments subsidize the provision of bicycles to encourage their use?
So C.
Yes, it is C. You are doing so great today. It is C because just because of their ignorance about the benefits of bicycles, using bicycles, that's why government subsidize. So here comes the next one. The table shows Gini coefficient for both income and wealth in two countries. So which statement is correct?
So can you explain this question, like answer?
Yes, Gini coefficients are the coefficients that shows actually when we talk about income or wealth, that is actually inequality. So it lies between 0 to 1, So if it is less than 1, it means there is inequality. If it is closer to 1, it means there is high inequality. If it is closer to 0, it means it has no or very less inequality. So here we see that when we talk about the income, it is 0.6 and 0.6 and 0.5. So
Yeah.
we see that income equality is greater in country P because it is 0.6 as compared to 0.5 than in country Q. So B statement will be correct
Okay, sir.
because in this income is income inequality is compared. So we see that there is income inequality and P country is having more inequality as compared to Q country. Why so? Because its Gini coefficient is greater than the Q country. So higher the coefficient, Gini coefficients, higher the inequality rate.
Yes.
So here comes next question number 15. So a government is faced with rising inflation. So that is a disease. It wishes to reduce inflationary pressure while avoiding a fall in output. So government wants to stabilize its output level, but it wants to reduce the inflationary pressure. So what action will the government adopt?
Sir, C, budgets.
And budget surplus are taken up or are the tools to deal with the balance of payments. Same is the exchange rate. Inflation has nothing to do with that. These two tools, C and D, aren't utilized while to deal with inflation. So C or D is not an option. So you have to check from A and B now.
A,
A is correct. Why so? Because competition improves quality, competition reduces prices. So that is why government will increase the laws to promote competition because on one end it will produce more product and its output won't fall. On the other side, it will, with the competition, when there is a competition within the firms, so definitely there will be a price war and prices will go down until unless they don't make a cartel. So here, question number 16. So the table shows selected information from a country's national account, GDP, net property income from abroad, capital consumption, national debt. So what's country net national income?
mm,
So if we talk about the GDP, because we didn't have yet discussed GDP because this one was our next topic.
Wait,
So,
so can I try? So,
yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
so is it B?
How?
So,
Will net property income from abroad will be excluded or included? It will be subtracted or added.
so it will be added, but as it's negative, so it basically becomes minus.
So it will become 25. Okay. So what's next? Capital consumption and national debt.
So national debt won't be added.
No, national debt will not be considered in this.
Yes,
Why
sir.
so? Because we just have to find our net national income. So
Yes.
capital consumption will be subtracted
Oh, okay. So
because from GDP we have done capital consumption, so it will become 9.
19.
So we will go with A. That is just to confuse you.
So why will capital consumption will be minus?
Because when we are talking about the GDP, capital consumption are the consumption that is put on the amount of you can say things where we have to earn more and more profit. So actually, it is the capital that we have consumed from our GDP. So definitely it will be excluded, and their output that we will gain from the capital consumption that will be added maybe in next year or in the next quarter.
Okay, so
So here comes question number 17. The graph shows the changes in exchange rates of the pound sterling against the US dollars and the euro between the year 2001 and 2003. What happened? What happened to the value of the pound between the year 2001 and 2003? Are you well aware of that? What is the appreciated of the currency or depreciated the currency? When the value of the
so
currency goes
value
down,
of,
it's
yeah,
depreciated, and when it gains power or its value is
up,
increased or powered, it is appreciated.
yes.
Okay. Now see the graph and try to figure out where it goes.
So wait, so can you go up? Like I can't see the
Question.
question. Yeah.
Okay.
So can you explain?
Okay. You see that in graph 1, US dollar is consistently increasing and gaining power.
Yes, sir.
So when we see in graph 2, because this one is about US per pound. So actually, when US is increasing power, on the other side, when we see that pounds and euro, and pounds are on the vertical y-axis, and euros will be definitely comparing with the euros, we see that there is also a rise in pound, but it is against euros. So we see that pounds against the US dollars have appreciated, because in 2001, if we start from here, we see that one pound was equals to 1.40, one pound was equals to $1.40. So when we see this side, we see that 1 pound is now equals to $1.75. So we see that dollar's value is depreciated and pound is appreciated over here.
Okay, sir.
So pound is gaining power. So we see that when we talk about the other side, pound is compared there with the euros. We see that pound is constantly decreasing its power. Why so? Because in 2001, 1 euro was 0.60 pounds, and in 2003, 1 euro is 0.70. It means pound's value is decreasing, and here pound's value is increasing when it is compared with US dollars. So we see that we find the answer where pound is increasing with dollar and pound is decreasing with euro. It is A.
Yeah.
Pound is appreciated against US and depreciated against euro.
Euro. Yes, sir.
Which statement about the circular flow of income is correct? Circular flow of income. Do you know what is circular flow of income?
So,
Are you, are you well aware of what is circular flow of income? Where consumers and producers. Okay, you're thinking, I guess.
like, how does the goods and services
Exchanged or traded.
exchange? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So actually, it is in two-sector economy, three-sector economy, and four-sector economy. These are the different phases where we discuss circular flow of income. In two-sector
Yes.
economy, only producers and the public is included. In three-sector economy, government is also included, and in four-sector economy, international trade is also included.
Yes, sir.
So here we see that there is no international trade, or we are not asked to find it. So we see that when consumers used past savings to increase their spendings, there will be a rise in national income. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Because all of the rest of the things doesn't show a relationship in the circular flow of national income. So the graph shows a country's average annual inflation rate over a 5 years period. So what can be concluded about the general price level during the 5 years?
So, is it?
Which one did you say?
No, sir, I didn't see anything.
Okay.
It B. No, wait, sorry,
It
C. C, C.
See, it rose in only 2 years. And what are those years? Year two
Oh,
and year.
3.
Okay. So then it goes down. Yes, exactly. In an economy, wages and prices are both rising, but wages are rising faster. Which features are likely to exist in the economy? Cost push inflation and rise in real income.
What?
Okay, you can solve such type of questions stepwise. When you see that wages are rising faster, so what will be the impacts of that on cost push inflation? Will it push
The
the inflation?
income will rise, but for
Okay,
cost push inflation,
will increase or decrease cost push inflation?
so no means like it will decrease, right?
No, no, no means it will have no impact on the cost push inflation. You see that wages are the payments of the production factor. So if any production factor is expensive, have become expensive, it will definitely be having a cost push inflation pressure on the
So it
on
will be
that
D.
commodity. It will be D, yes, because there will be rise in the real income. So
Yeah.
how you can discriminate the real income and nominal income? The real income is actually the power to purchase. If
Okay, so
there is 5% inflation and 7% rise in wages, inflation, so we see that actually we are having 2% increase in our real income because it is directly linked with the cost push inflation.
okay, sir.
So we will see that the real power or the real income has increased 2%, not 7%. 7% is the nominal wage. Nominal wage, that is the monetary value of something in terms of salary. But when we take it in the terms of inflation, when we compare it, then we are in a better position to know whether our income has increased or decreased. Because sometimes government increases our salaries 15%, but inflation has increased 20%. So actually, we have gone down 5%. We can see that we are 15% higher as compared to previous year, but actually we are 5% down as compared to previous year. Got it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. So the diagram shows the aggregate demand curve. So first of all, you have to make sure what are the aggregate demand curve. Aggregate demand curve is actually C plus I plus G plus net exports.
Yes, sir.
So C is the consumption, I is investment, G is government expenditures, and net exports means exports minus imports. You can write it exports minus imports if you want to. So that is aggregate demand curve. So aggregate supply curve, what is aggregate supply curve? C plus S plus T. So the diagram shows the aggregate demand curve and long run aggregate supply curve. So curves for a country, X is the original equilibrium, this
Yes,
one.
yes, sir.
So in 1 year, over 1 million foreign workers left the country, and at the same time, the country's currency appreciated against the currencies of its major trading partners. What will be the most likely new equilibrium position for this country?
So is it D?
D.
Yes, sir.
How?
So because like if 1 million foreigner workers left, so the supply will shift to the left side because it decreases, and then
Okay. So when they have
like
left the country, 1 million is a huge amount of foreign workers, then definitely aggregate demand curve will also shift leftward because there will be lesser consumption, lesser investment, and lesser taxes government will gain. So aggregate demand curve will also shift leftward.
oh,
So long run aggregate supply curve will shift leftward. So C will be the next equilibrium.
okay, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here comes the next one. What is most likely to cause a rise in the country's exchange rate? What is the most likely cause?
A rise in import. No, wait, no.
Imports and exports will not be considered
Yes, sir.
in country's exchange rate. So
Yes.
now you are left only two things, A and C. Are you thinking?
Yes,
Okay.
so a rise in interest rate.
The rise in interest rate is correct answer. So here the next one. Which change affecting the foreign exchange market for the US dollar would be most likely to result in a shift to the right of the demand curve and a movement along the supply supply curve? Means supply curve won't change. There will be just a shifting, but demand curve will shift to rightward. So what will be uh, the tools that will do that?
So what does movement along the supply curve mean? Like,
Movement means supply curve. There will be only equilibrium will shift on the supply curve. It will remain on the same supply curve. Supply curve will not be, there will not be another supply curve. But demand curve, there will be a demand curve that is on the right side. So if the demand curve is on right side, it means demand is increasing. So you just have to see what thing can be done in order to shift off demand curve to the right side. What will increase the demand?
okay.
Increase of demand for US dollars. It means if you know that there is something happening that US dollar will become shorten in the next upcoming shorter period, or there will be shortage of US dollar, or there will be a rise in the value of US dollars. So if these type of speculations happen, then definitely people will buy, investors will buy US dollars, and demand curve will shift to the rightward. So what could be the condition that will push it to the right word? If you need help, you can ask.
Yes. So B.
It is B because there will be a speculation. So if
Yeah.
a person is speculating that and believe that US dollar will be undervalued, so definitely there will be a shift in demand. So question number 24, what can be best understood for a knowledge of a country's term of trade? Term of trade. We also call it TOT. A is
Balance.
BOP. It's balance of
Sorry.
payment, not terms of trade.
Yes.
So A is eliminated.
Yes. So the purchasing power for its exports. B.
Exactly. There you go. Correct. So here is question number 25. A company produces goods for export only. Which change could cause a rise in the price of its goods while the quantity sold is unchanged? Quantity remain unchanged, but price has increased. So what could be the condition? What could be the reason? Domestic worker wages and foreign consumer wages.
So B.
B, you said B, domestic worker wages. If wages are falling, then how is it possible that prices are going higher?
D. So
Wages
D.
will definitely rise,
Yes.
whether they are domestic or they are foreign.
Yeah.
So that will increase the prices. We also call it CPI, cost push inflation, because cost of productions has increased. So price of its goods will be increased, but supply will remain unchanged.
Yes. So I meant D only.
Yes, Dion. So uh, you said D or B?
So D.
Yes, D is correct. So under which current condition will supply side policy measures be most likely to achieve a country's key macroeconomic goals?
So C.
When unemployment level is low and price level is stable, then why we need a supply side policy? Both of the problems are already solved. So why would we apply supply side policy?
Oh, it's asking that oh, I thought what are those?
Yes. Try
So
again. So
B.
B or D?
Yeah, B.
B.
Yes.
B or D?
So B for
B for
ball.
B. Okay, B. Yes, this one is correct, quite correct. Very good. So here comes the next one. Why might a government prefer to use floating exchange rates? Are you well aware of what are floating exchange rate that can float with the passage of time and time spans? So why a government prefers
So I don't know floating exchange rate. Can you explain?
floating exchange rate? Actually, we see that when you look at the Google and you see that what is the current US dollar and Indian rupees rate, and we see that if there are happening something in US or there is happening something in India, we see there is a fluctuation, and the dollar and rupees have shifted their equilibrium. So it will become easier for the country who is facing the problems, and it will definitely prefer float exchange rate because it can adjust automatically, and government don't have to put pressure on that, and it will be set by the demand and supply forces. So whether we call it a free sector economy. So it allows the government more independent in policy making because government don't have to bother about it. It will automatically adjust.
Okay.
Okay. So here comes the next one, that is what is least likely to rise as a result of the use of expansionary fiscal policy.
So D.
You are saying B. Why?
Budget surplus. So
Budget surplus. Because if there was a budget deficit, what that policy will be? Expansionary or contractionally?
contact.
Contractionally. The GDP, the table shows GDP indices for a country over a 3 year period. Year one, year two, and year three. Real GDP and money GDP. Inflation and economic growth are two macroeconomic policy objectives. Which one? Inflation and economic growth. So, which row give a correct assessment of the country's achievement of those two objectives over a period of time.
Uh, so from GDP we can't say the inflation rate
So,
or
you're saying that real GDP, what does it say?
what's so?
Uh, which is the correct option?
So I'm asking like from GDP can we tell the inflation or not?
Definitely, if GDP is increasing, definitely money GDP is also increasing. So we see that inflation will remain constant as compared to, or positive. There will be inflation, yes, because GDP is increasing. Money GDP is also increasing. So
What is
inflation
money?
rate will, sorry,
Money G.
that is nominal GDP.
Oh,
Real
okay.
GDP is the GDP, all the goods and services that are being produced within the country. We see there. quantitative value. But when we convert their quantitative value to the monetary value, that is money GDP.
Okay, sir. Source of C.
See, yes, exactly. A government raises interest rates to improve the current account of BOP. What might reduce the effectiveness of this policy?
So what is consumer pessimist?
Consumer pessimism. It means the consumer isn't in a position to decide what to purchase, where to purchase, from whom to purchase. So this type of consumer is not studied in economics. We only study rational consumers. So
Oh,
B won't be
yes, sir.
the answer. Okay. So now you have to decide from the rest of the
Source
three.
C.
C is increased domestic saving. How? If interest rates are higher, so what is the objective of the country, of the government? That was to improve current account of balance of payment. So they don't have to deal with the domestic saving or consumption. So they
Oh,
have to deal with the macroeconomic because it is balance of payment. So actually, it is imports or exports level problem.
okay, sir. Source of D.
It is deep because price elastic demand for exports. So in all of these questions, you can see that the answer is also hidden, or you can get a clue from the question. So what are the objectives? And then you have to channelize and put it with a connection with someone that is connected to the balance of payment. Then it will
Yes, sir.
become easier for you. So it was 2023 paper that we have done now. Yes, exactly. So you did well. Most of the questions were quite correct. Only a few were
Yes.
incorrect. And okay, Risha, we will do next papers in our next upcoming class. So if you try to solve paper from 2022, I will definitely send it to ma'am, and she will be sending you. So if you do
Okay.
that, that will give you a lot of practice, a lot of experience, and a lot of confidence. You will be able uh, to become on a better position to see the economic problems, and then you will be able to solve their math problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Risha. Is there anything else you want to ask?
No, sir.
Okay, you did
Thank you.
well. See you next.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.